replacing the Ohio-class submarine is one of my top priorities. Very important to our nation because the ballistic missile submarine force provides our survivable nuclear strategic capability. We take these submarines, they go out to sea on patrols, and quite frankly, because of their nature of operating under the waters of our oceans, you can't detect them. They're very quiet.
The current plan to replace the Ohio-class submarines calls for 12 submarines. Why 12? Why not 10 or 8? We saw the awesome capability of the submarine when we were on it. One submarine has tremendous capability to respond or deter an attack. Why do you need 12?
Well, I will not get Jamie into my particulars in terms of our operational availabilities in those parts of our day-to-day classified operations. But let's just say this, 12 makes it the minimum requirement in order to have a sufficient deterrent force at sea for our survivable component.
Well, let's talk about that Triad, because some people think the Triad is still a relic of the Cold War, and that you could probably have a very credible deterrence and response with just 2 legs of the Triad. So let's break it down for a moment. What about the intercontinental ballistic missile? What does that bring to the game that you don't get from the other legs of the Triad?
Well, the intercontinental ballistic missile force provides a very rapid response that our adversaries would have to consider. When we look at deterrence, it is such that any adversary has to consider that it will be very costly to take this kind of approach against the United States of America, that they won't get the benefits that they so subscribe to, and that restraint is a much better option.
But if you could base ballistic missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, on submarines at sea, why do you need them on the land?
Because the sea component provides us that survivable leg, and consequently, being survivable underwater, it's not as responsive as the intercontinental ballistic missiles.
Are you saying that the ICBMs can be launched faster if they need be?
That's correct.
And the submarine might take time to get in position, or take time to communicate with the submarine? Or why would the submarine be not as fast?
Because it is associated with its posture underwater in terms of that and the manner in which we communicate with it, et cetera. It's a combination of those particular factors.
Okay, so we have missiles on the land and submarines at sea. Why do we need bombers?
Well, we need bombers because they also provide us a visible and very flexible leg of the Triad, which an adversary can see through demonstrations of where we take those planes, how we work with our allies and partners and other combatant commands, such that we take our B-52s and fly them all over the globe as required. So they are not underwater, more or less out of sight, out of mind. Those are out and about to where people can see those as a demonstration of U.S. power. The real key here, as you look at the combination of the Triad, is again making the adversary's problem very complex, very costly, and again, so that restraint is a better option as you look at the combinations of the capability.